Hey everybody, welcome back to Andrina's Creations LLC. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a hardcover activity notebook. This is going to be part one because this is going to be a pretty long step-by-step tutorial. So in part one, I'm just going to be showing you how to design and create your front and back cover. And then in part two, I'm going to be showing you how to create the inside pages. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to be showing you what supplies I'm going to be using. Remember, there is no right or wrong on how to make these and on what supplies you are using. I'm just going to show you what I personally use. Do you have to buy all these supplies? Of course not. 2 mm chipboard. The mm just means how thick it is. Totally a preference. I prefer the 2 mm, and I do know they have them in different colors. If you prefer to have them white, because the sticker paper sometimes are like kind of see-through, so you can see the color of the chipboard, but I'm okay with this. And let me see if I can show you how thick. So that is the 2 mm. So of course your chipboard, that's basically what makes it a hard cover. Your sticker paper. Lately I've been loving the brand J&J Packaging. You can use HTV Ront. The trick about your sticker paper is that it has to be compatible with the printer that you are going to be using. I personally like printing my glossy sticker paper on my Canon Pro Pixma 200 because I feel like the sticker papers are better to use with a dye ink inkjet printer. Also, when you go on Amazon and look at the description of the paper, it's going to tell you what ink is best to use. And I'm not speaking about sublimation. I'm speaking about your regular home printers. The size of the sticker paper is going to be 8.5 by 11. Also, the chipboard is 8.5 by 11. And that's in inches because I do know people all around the world watch me. So that's 8.5 by 11 inches. I like to use a cold laminator to apply the lamination on top of my sticker paper. And if you are going to be using a laminator, make sure it has the cold option. If you are near a Walmart, they do have like around a $20 laminator there too. But I got this one from Amazon. And all the links will be down below as well. If you do not own a laminator that has the cold option, you can of course do it by hand. And this is where this long squeegee comes in, because once you apply the laminating sheet on top of your sticker paper, you can just go like this and press down. So you can do it by hand. To cut the corners of your sticker paper, you're going to need miter tools. This is not a necessity. I just like using it. You can just cut across the paper without owning these. And they have these in a variety of sizes. So you would just put it on the corner of your paper. And then you just cut across. And then I do use an X-Acto knife to cut the piece of sticker paper when I use this tool. So this is the X-Acto tool that I'm going to be using. You can use a pair of scissors if you want. I use a marker or a pen when I'm ready to do the holes for the grommets. You can use whatever pencil, or I mean not a pencil but a pen or anything of your choice. I like to use a marker because after it's laminated I can just erase that little part there. And you're going to need your grommets, your eyelets, grommets, whatever they're called, but make sure they are the size of the tool you're going to be using. So I'm using a crocodile. They do sell these smaller, and I'm going to be making the hole 3/16. If you can see it there, it has 1/8 and 3/16. So these are 3/16 eyelets. Okay. And they do have the brand of the We Are Memory Keeper as well, but you just could buy any brand on Amazon. Measuring tape or a ruler, because there is a lot of measuring. Binding tools, binding guides, binding rules. They sell a whole bunch of kits on Amazon. Just make sure that you know the sizes that you are getting, because they're all different sizes. This one is 0.75 across right here. That's the width of it. So when you're ready to design, you need to make sure that your design leaves this 0.75 all around, which I will explain that later. But if you don't have binding tools when you see this tutorial, that's why I said you can use the ruler or measuring tape. a cutting mat so you do not mess up your table. This is a conversion chart. You don't need this. You can easily go on Google and type in what is 1/4, what is 3.75 in fractions, decimals, blah, blah, blah. But if you are in my Facebook free group, Andrena's Creations Crafting Lounge, you can go ahead and download this for free. You will see later on why we will need this. This is a weeding tool. It has like a small needle right there. I use this to help me sometimes peel off the laminate or the sticker. I am going to be using self-laminating sheets. What that means is basically think about it as a clear sticker that's going to go on top of your actual sticker paper to protect it. Fun fact, all sticker paper throughout the years turn yellow. No matter what brand of sticker paper, they will eventually turn yellow. So you need to protect that. So we're not using double-sided laminating sheets. We're just going to laminate the top of the sticker paper. There is a variety out there, and my favorite ones to use is this roll. It's the Frisco Craft. This one you just cut as much as you need. You measure it with your sticker paper and you cut and laminate. This one is glossy, regular, just glossy on top. They also have the sheets, which this one is HTV Ront self-laminating sheets, and this one's glossy as well. So basically you peel. This is where the tool comes in handy. And it's just a clear lamination that goes on top like that. They also sell cool ones on Amazon that they have like glitter, sparkles and stuff. Whatever lamination you get, make sure that it's 8.5 by 11 inches to cover the full sticker paper. If you don't look carefully, you will see that there's a whole bunch of different sizes on Amazon. And yes, I'll get it on Amazon. So you see they have a whole bunch of different ones. See, they have one with little stars. So you pick whatever you want. These are like the holographic laminating sheets. And they do have like matte ones if you want like a matte cover. My recommendation of those laminating sheets or laminating roll that you don't go over 4 ml so it don't be so thick, because remember, we are going to wrap around the sticker sheet and the lamination sheet around the chipboard. So the thicker it is, the harder it's going to be to fold over. This is optional. You can get some elastic so you can close the cover with some elastic. I'm pretty sure y'all guys have seen out there where you see these journals or notebooks and they have like an elastic on the side to make sure that the book closes completely. So again, this is a preference. And if you are going to be using elastic, that's where the crocodile and the eyelets come in. Also, if you don't have the crocodile, if you notice this kit that I bought from Amazon, it comes already with the tool for you to make the hole. And to place the grommet on your project as well if you don't own one of these. All right. And let me point out why I have this big crocodile one, because like I said, they do have a smaller one. The reason why I have this one is it's called a big bite, because depending on what project you're doing, you have space to put your paper all the way in there depending on where you're going to be placing your holes. Okay, so that's why I like this one. You are going to need a binding machine. This is a total preference of the machine that you are going to get, okay, and the look you're going for. This is going to be a spiral or coiled binding. You can use a cinch. I know everybody been asking me, can I use a cinch? And of course, it's just for the look that you're going for and the finish. If I could be completely transparent, I personally do not like this machine, but we're going to work with what we got, okay? I'm not going to go ahead and buy another machine. I just personally don't like this one. Why I got this one though is because it is electric, so if I'm going to bind it, this automatically does it for me. Honestly, this hasn't worked for me. And also specifically on the size of book that I'm going to be doing, when you pull these out, it doesn't make the hole. Okay, so this is what was one of the ones that sold me because of this. Okay, just like that. But honestly, y'all, I personally don't like the machine. Eventually, I will upgrade and I will keep y'all updated. You're going to need your coils. All machines are different, so make sure whatever you purchase that you look at the pitch. The pitch for this one is 4 in 1, meaning 4 holes in 1 inch. So every inch, there's 4 holes. That means 4 in 1. I know the cinch, if I'm not mistaken, is a 2 in 1. So there's 2 holes per 1 inch. Whatever it is that the machine that you got, make sure that's what you purchased. This machine did come with these, if I'm not mistaken, or a smaller pack. I probably bought these. These are different sizes. So they have like the 6 mm. Depending on the size of coil, that is going to be the how many pages you can put in there. So this one is 12 mm, the green ones. See how little the yellow ones are. Just different sizes. And it does come with the size right here. This is where this tool comes in. This is you can measure how thick your book is, and then you can know what coil you're gonna need. Because sometimes if you go on Google and it says, okay, you need 16 mm for, let's say, 200 pages. But that depends of the pound of paper that you're going to be using. Today we're going to be using 32-pound paper, and plus our hardcover is thick as well. And I actually own 2 of them. I kind of prefer this one because it tells me right here 32 mm, 28 mm. This one doesn't. But if you could only find this one, if it measures the 5/8, just go on Google. What is mm's in 5/8? What is the mm of 3/4? What is the mm of 1 inch? And like that, okay? Google is your best friend. This is an example. If your book that you create, your finished item, you're going to grab this and you're going to measure. See? You're going to measure. So for this thickness, you're going to need a 5/8 coil, right? And of course, your coils are an mm. So you're going to put, what is the mm of 5/8, right? And then you look for that size in your coils, and that is what you're going to put in the circles of your finished project. And that is basically the supplies that I'll be using to create the covers. And then throughout, I'll be showing you other supplies if I missed anything. Your next step is to decide what size of book, notebook, journal that you want to create. There is no right or wrong. Just have fun and decide the size that you want. Today, I am going to be completing a 9.5 by 7 inches notebook. Okay, that means that my cover is going to be 9.5 in height and 7 inches in width. That is the size that I want. There's a variety of sizes that you can make. So that is the first step. Decide the size that you want. Okay, so this is again the size 9.5 by 7 inches. That is the size of my cover. It's up to you if you want the same size of your pages inside or you want them smaller. I personally prefer 0.25 or 1/4 smaller all around. So I want my page, we're gonna punch it here. So my pages, of course, is going to be flush on this side, but I want 1/4 space up here, 1/4 space up here, and 1/4 space down here. So when I place my page, maybe I'll get something darker. Hold on. So because I want 1/4 smaller here, here, and here. Remember, my cover is 9.5 by 7. So take away the 1/4 up here, 1/4 up here. That's going to give you, it's 0.25, 0.25. That's going to be a 1/2 inch, right? Up here together, 1/2 inch. And then 0.25 from here. That makes it the pages to be 9 by 6.75. I hope I didn't confuse you. Just look. Can you see that? It's going to be flush over here. So there's going to be a 0.25, 0.25, 0.25 of space all around. But you can make your pages the same size as your cover, okay? Let me bring this up. This is how I want my pages. 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. You can make the pages, like I said, the same size. So my cover is 9.5 by 7. And then my pages are going to be 9 inch by 6.75. Hopefully that all made sense right there. You just decide the size of cover and pages you want. Before we start designing, I feel like I had to explain how I came up with my sizes and stuff like that. So let me explain. Remember I told you guys that my cover is going to be 9.5 by 7. And the reason why I came up with that is because of my actual binding ruler of this. So if I have a sheet of 8.5 by 11 sticker paper, but I need to make sure that 0.75 wraps around my chipboard. So I took away 0.75 from each. Remember, this is the size of my binding tool. Your binding tool might be different. So my binding tool is 0.75. So I need to take away 0.75 from here, 0.75 from here, 0.75 from here, 0.75 from here. See, my binding tool is 3/4. Right here is at 3, and this is a fractions measuring tape. So my binding tool is 3/4. How do I know it's 0.75? Because 3/4 is 0.75. So when you guys go design, you'll know to take out 0.75. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. But anyways, 0.75 up here, 0.75 down here. That makes 1.5 inch. All right, 0.75, 0.75 makes that I need to take away 1.5 inch from the top and bottom and 1.5 inch from the sides. That's that. Okay. So my sticker sheet is 8.5 by 11. I need a darker marker. Hold on. My sticker paper is 8.5 by 11, but I want to wrap around sticker paper around, and because I have a 0.75 binding tool, I need that measures 0.75. I need to take 0.75 from here, 0.75 from here, 0.75 from here, and 0.75. 0.75 plus 0.75 equals to 1.5, and this tool equals 1.5. So I need to take away 1.5 out of my width, which that will make it 7 inches. And then I need to take away 1.5 from 11. That will make it 9.5. Does that make sense? So my finished cover is going to be 9. I just put it backwards, but y'all get it. 9.5 by 7. So 9.5 in width and 7 inches in height. That is going to be the finished size of my cover, meaning my chipboard needs to be that size. Ooh, I know the comments are gonna be like, girl, you lost me, but just follow the math. It goes by your binding tool, all right, and your sticker paper. I know my sticker paper is 8.5 by 11. I want to make sure I have the equal amount to wrap around my chipboard, all right. So because of this, it's 0.75 all around. I take away that, and that leaves me with 9.5 by 7. So cut your chipboard that size, okay? Chipboard. I don't know why I put that, but this is the height and this is the width. 9.5 in height, 7 in width. This video is probably all over the place, but just know that's the measurements. 9.5 by height and width. So this is the chipboard cut to that. All right, and this will be your sticker sheet. And then if you put it in the center, you'll have the same amount all around like that. See? Because remember, we're using this. This is why we're going to use this when we start going to wrap it around. You put this here. And then this is like a guide, right? The 0.75 guide. And then when you take this off, you're going to have the 0.75 on the top, side to wrap around. That's how I came up with the measurements. Remember, what I'm teaching you today, that goes for every size of notebook that you're going to create. All right, after you decide the size that you're going to do, I need you to grab a piece of scrap paper or a piece of scrap cardstock and cut it the size of your cover. This is going to be the size of my cover. The reason why I say go ahead and grab a piece of scrap cardstock, because if your machine is like mine's, it has different margins, and the margins is going to be here. How far in is going to punch your holes, and that's going to guide you where to put your design at. For example, this is my cover. I know it's going to punch here. I need to make sure that whatever I wrote is not over here, because the holes is going to be right on the name. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So you're going to grab your piece of cardstock and go ahead and punch the holes. So my machine pulls out to 3, 5, and 7. That's the margin right here. Like I said, I don't know if all machines are the same, but mine has that. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring it all out like that to like the maybe to like the 5 as a margin, and I'm going to go ahead and put the holes in. And then you're going to go ahead and measure from here to where the hole stops. So you know you're going to be putting a guide on your designing software, whatever software you're going to use. You're going to put a guide here to make sure that whatever you type on your cover, the front or the back, that you don't come this way, okay? So like if you see where her name, it looks off centered, but that's because I didn't put it over here. You see, this is where it's going to stop. So I didn't want her name to be over here so it doesn't get punched. All right. So make sure you do that. So when you're about to design, you know how far ahead is your margin and you put a guide. All right. So now you are ready to start designing your covers. I am going to be using Canva. I have Canva Pro. I'm not sure if y'all I'm pretty sure y'all don't have the same functions on the free Canva, but y'all can still follow along. Do you have to have Canva Pro? Absolutely not. I'm just going to show you how I use it, and I print from Silhouette Studio. Is there other ways for you guys to print? Absolutely. But again, like I told you at the beginning of this video, I am showing you guys how I make my stuff. You use whatever software you want, and you use however you want to print. Okay. All right. So let's get started. All right, so I went ahead and opened up Canva, and I'm gonna go to custom size, create new, and then I'm gonna go here where it says units, click on the inches. The width is going to be 8.5, and the height is going to be 11 inches, and then create new design. Okay, like I stated before, I do have Canva Pro. This is a paid membership that I pay around $15 a month. You can use the free version. If you want to title your document right here where it says untitled, let's go ahead and put I'm going to make a cinnamon roll notebook, so I'm just going to name it that. And I'm going to put cover because the notebook cover and the pages is two different sizes, so I need to make sure this is the cover. Then after here, I'm going to go ahead and put my guidelines so I know where to put the design and all that good stuff. So remember, like I said, this is the full sheet of sticker paper, 8.5 by 11, but my design has to be 9.5 by 7. All right, so remember the same thing, guys, I told you guys, 0.75 here, 0.75 here is going to wrap around the chipboard. So I'm going to go ahead and go to file, and where it says settings, I need to make sure that my rulers and guides are on. So right here, see, show rulers and guides. Okay, then I'm going to click out of that, and then right here you're going to see a ruler on, sorry, a ruler on your left and a ruler on your the top of your Canva. Okay, let's go ahead and exit this stuff out so y'all don't get confused. All right, from my left, I'm going to go ahead and click on that ruler, and I'm going to pull to my document, and I'm going to go ahead and put my first guideline at 0.75. Sometimes what I do too is I go to elements, click on the shapes right here, and it's already recently used. So I click on the rectangle, make sure I click on the rectangle, click on it, and right here where it says position, click on that, and it's going to come as arrange and layers. Right here on the width, I'm going to go ahead and put 0.75, and then I can use this as a reference. So I make sure I align that, and then align my guide to that. See how it usually helps if you use a shape. So now it's better, because when I didn't have this shape and I was moving it, see, it wasn't going exactly to the 0.75. So you can use this. as a reference. You could do the same thing on the top, but from right here on the top, just pull down, and it also has to be at 0.75. It's so hard. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this around. Point 0.75 there. Then remember, this one that's at 0.75. This one over here is going to be at 7.75. So let's go over here, and when it says 7.75, that's where you stop. And again, I'm just going to use this as guides. And then you also have to put one in the bottom, which the one in the bottom goes at 10.25. Then you can go ahead and delete that. And then you have your paper with all the guides. This is whatever's outside of these lines is going to wrap around your chipboard. So you can go back to File and Settings, and I'm going to go ahead and lock my guides. So while I'm designing, I accidentally don't move these guidelines. Remember when I said that also your margin, that's going to be your holes right here, that you don't want to put nothing besides that because that's where you're going to punch your holes. So I'm going to go ahead and add another guide so I know. And I'm going to go ahead and put that guide at 1.125. I'll be telling you to be putting that so good on there. It be driving me nuts. Oh, I got to go ahead and unlock this. Sorry. Because now it don't let me move that one that I was just doing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to element and I'm going to grab another square, click on the square, go to position, and then here I'm going to click on 0.375. Remember, I measured where my margin is, where I punched a hole. So that is my measurements. And I'm going to click on enter. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that on the side. Make sure it connects with that side. And then this guide, I want it to connect there. So basically it's at 1.125, all right? We no longer need that rectangle that I made. And I'm going to go back to File, Settings, and lock my guides. Okay, so now if I try to click on these guides, they do not move. All right, I kind of put circles there so you know what I mean. So y'all can kind of visualize that is where this is going to punch. Now your next thing is you have to figure out what background you want on your cover. Personally, I'm not going to make it this hard. You can go ahead and fully design from scratch your cover. For today's purposes, I am going to go ahead to Pinterest. You can go to Google, Pinterest. You can go to Etsy, Creative Fabrica, wherever you want. Find a background, and then you're going to go ahead and insert here. So I'm going to go to Pinterest, and I looked up cinnamon roll vertical wallpaper. Vertical because that is how we're going to design. You can do a horizontal book, but we're going to be doing a vertical. From here, you're just gonna go ahead and scroll. I feel like, to be honest, this is one of the hardest things because you don't know what you want as a design. This is where I take the longest, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. All right, so I personally like this one. And then all I'm going to do is go here on the three dots, more actions, and I'm going to click on where it says download image. I'm going to wait till it downloads. Then right here, I'm going to click on the folder so it can direct me where it's saved. And then from here, I'm just going to click and I'm going to drag into Canva, just like this. I'm going to drag it in there. You can also go right here to uploads, upload a file, and then look for wherever you download it. So right here, this is what it just said. You could click on it and then open. Okay, but I just like to drag. Next step is Canva has an option. I think it's a pro option, but it has an option to upscale your image. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my image. Click right here where it says edit. And then right here where it says tools, I'm going to click on upscale. Then I personally don't want this right here where it says cinnamon roll. So I'm going to go back to, let me unclick so y'all can know. I'm going to click on edit, click on the tools and see all. And then I'm going to click where it says magic graph. And then I'm going to click on the cinnamon roll word and click right here to deselect it or to delete it. And I also don't like those wings there. Let me zoom in. I also don't like that. So I'm going to click and click on that one here. And then click delete or the trash can right here. And then I'm fine with everything else. So I'm going to click right here on the exit the magic grab and see those stuff is not there no more. So now I'm going to make sure click on this image, make sure it's selected. And right here on the three dots, I'm going to click on set image as a background. So it's going to be like that. Let me go ahead and color this white. All right. Now remember, everything after these guidelines is what's going to be wrapped around. So if you've perfectly found out how it looks, you're good, but you're also able to move around the image around. So if you click on it and you click right here on the crop symbol, you can click on it and you're also able to move your image a little bit around, okay? If you want. All right. Gonna click on cancel. All right. From here, you're going to go ahead and type whatever you want to go in your front cover. And you're going to go to text right here, add a text box, and then make the text box bigger. Make sure you double click and then go ahead and type what you want to say on it. So I have Arianis. And I am going to go right here where when you select your name, it has the name of the font. I'm going to click on that. And I want to use Kawaii RT. That is the name of this font. Make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to go right here where it says effects. And I'm going to scroll down on effects and I'm going to curve it just a tiny bit. And I'm going to scroll down and I am going to not have it so curved, but just a tiny bit. And then while I'm still on effects, I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to click on neon. And the intensity, I'm going to go all the way to 100. I'm going to go right here where it has the A with the color. And then I'm just going to click on whatever color I think goes with it. I think that it's fine. And you can go ahead and type more. You can put Ariana's activity book, journal, made with love or made for you, especially for you. Whatever you want in the front, it's up to you. You can add more design and stuff like that. I'm just keeping it really simple. All right, now this is another personal preference. I'm going to go here to elements and I'm going to put on a blue cloud. I'm just going to put blue cloud. And I'm gonna go here where it says graphics and I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one. If y'all want to know what it is, it says simple blue cloud illustration and it's actually free. So this is the information for that. And then I'm just gonna click on it and it's gonna go here on your design. And I'm gonna go ahead and rotate this and make it bigger, and it's just like a little cute design. Remember, everything outside of your guidelines is not going to show. I'm going to go ahead and click on that cloud. You're going to see the color pop up here, and right here your colors of your design should pop up. So I'm going to click on that yellow. I'm going to go ahead while that cloud is selected, click here on that plus sign that is duplicate, and I'm going to put the same element up here. And I am going to go ahead and put it a different color. Again, this is optional. I don't want the moon to be covered. All right. That is going to be my front cover. I need to make the back cover. So I am going to go here and click on add to page. And now this is going to be the back of the cover. Same thing. Go to Pinterest, Find what you want for the back. I like this one. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on these three dots, click on download image, wait till it downloads, click on the folder, select it and drag it to Canva. Go to, once it's downloading, you got to see, make sure that where it says uploads is all the way uploaded. Go to edit, click on upscale, click on these three dots and put set image as background. You got to wait a little bit to make sure it finish uploading. Set image as background. Now, if you, like me personally, I want a little bit more of Karami's eye to show. So make sure you click on this, go to crop and move it as much as you can to the side and then done. Remember everything outside the margins. And this is going to get punched on this side. So if you need another guide, just make sure you put that guide here. It's going to get punched on the right. I'm going to go ahead and click on that cloud and duplicate and bring, oops, sorry. Click on that cloud and duplicate and bring it down to here. And I'm going to click here on the circle for the color. And I'm going to make that a light pink. I want a lighter pink. So I'm going to click here on this dropper and I'm going to go ahead and click on Melody's hat. And I'm going to put this on this side. And I want this a little bit lighter. Then I'm going to duplicate that one, right click and duplicate, and I'm going to put it here. And I want that to be a little purplish. All right. So that's my back cover. And right here above your margin, you could put made by Andrina's Creations, made by whoever, or made with love just for you. Whatever you want, you can type right here. I'm not going to do that because I'm just making this for the tutorial and I'm just going to give it to my daughter. And then my front and back cover is done. All right. But I also like to cover the inside of my cover with a design. Okay, so I personally like this one, but I don't want this character, the R, the bow, and the heart. So I'm gonna click here on the three dots and I'm gonna put remix collage and I'm gonna click on that R, delete, click on that, delete, and I'm still on Pinterest, of course. The heart, delete, and that bow and delete. All right, once I deleted everything I don't want, I'm gonna right click and copy image, go into my Canva, right click and paste. And then I'm gonna wait. You see right here, it says uploading. Then I'm gonna go up again, edit, upscale. And then hit the three dots and wait till this pops up, set image as background. All right, so that's going to be my inside cover for the chipboard. All right. Then I like how everything turned out. I need to delete this before I download. All right. So now how do I save this? I'm going to go to share on my right where it says download. I'm going to click on download and I'm going to save it one by one. If you saved all this, it's going to save as a compressed file. Then you have to decompress it or unzip it. I don't feel like doing all that. So I'm just going to click just download page one and download. And I have it on high. And I don't need a transparent background. And it's a PNG, okay? And I'm going to click on download. Once I'm going to click on that folder, I already have Silhouette Studio open. So all I have to do is click here and drag it down to Silhouette Studio. Okay. Now, I have Silhouette Studio Business Edition. You can use the free version. You're just going to use this to print your pages, okay? Pages and covers from Silhouette Studio. I have version 4.5, 4.5815. So if your screen looks a little bit different than mine, that's just probably why, because of the version I have, but everything works perfectly the same. We got another thing. I don't know what's wrong with my Silhouette Studio lately. It's been statically like this, but don't get distracted. You're going to go ahead and click on your page setup. However your design looks, you're going to click on the first icon that is your paper. It's going to be the page setup. Down here where it says media size, we need to change that to 8.5 by 11 because that is the size of paper that we are going to be printing. Always remember that, okay? Media size means the size of paper or cardstock, whatever you're using, all right? So let's exit that out. Now this, I need to make sure that we put it at 8.5 by 11. I know that's going to be so distracting to you guys, and I apologize now. You're going to click on your image, and up here is going to show the width and the height. So the width is 8.5, and the height is 11. And enter. Click on your image, go right here to your transform icon and click on center. So it's going to center it for you. I am going to be printing this borderless, okay? Because I want everything to be like this, no, not with white edges. Now, I do know some printers do not print borderless, okay? That just means that around your edge is going to be white. And that is okay in this project because remember, you're still going to wrap it around your chipboard so that white area doesn't matter. I'm going to be printing borderless. So the way I print is I'm going to go up here, click on my printer icon. I'm going to click here where it says print. I'm going to go ahead and select the printer that I have. I'm going to be printing on my Canon Pro Pixma. And then I'm gonna only print one copy of this. Go to more settings because I want to see the more settings. Make sure that it's on an 8.5 by 11. I'm gonna click here where it says page setup, and I'm going to click on borderless. And the amount of extension you see, it usually is right here in the middle, but I bring it all the way down. The minimum amount of extension I want, and it's borderless. I'm gonna click on OK, and I'm gonna go ahead and print that. Okay. Now, that was my front. We're going to go ahead back to Canva, go to the back cover, and go back to share, download this page number 2, click on download, and click on it, and I'm going to go ahead and drag that to Silhouette Studio. Same thing, 8.5 by 11. And go to my transform icon and center. Go ahead and print that out. And now I have my front and back cover, and I'm printing this on my sticker paper. And then I have to go ahead and print what's going to go and cover the chipboard in the inside, which was this image right here, page number 3. Go ahead and share, download this page 3 and download. Click on the folder and drag it to Silhouette Studio. If you don't know how to drag and stuff like that, it's perfectly fine. You can go here to File, Merge, go to Downloads, because you just downloaded it. And then find the stuff you downloaded, click on it, and click on OK. And it's going to bring in the image, okay? All right, now this, remember, this is going to go inside of your cover. My cover is 9.5 by 7, but I do not want it that exact size. So I personally am going to print the inside. The width is going to be 6.95 and enter. And then the height is going to be 9.45 and enter. And then I'm going to go ahead and center this. You don't really have to. And I'm going to go ahead and print 2 of these. So go to printer icon, click on print, Canon Pro Pixma, 2 pages, more settings. I do not need this to be borderless. Okay, so page setup, normal size, and that's it. And then I'm going to click on OK and go ahead and print that. All right. And then that is going to go in the inside of, in the back of this. And I print it out too. And it's going to go in the back of that. And that will be it. So let's go ahead and put it on our chipboard. All right, so now you're going to go ahead and grab 2 pieces of chipboard and cut it down to 9.5 by 7 or the size of hardcovers that you are going to be creating. Again, I'm going to be using my guillotine board, and make sure that you use a guillotine board. If you do not own one, you can use an X-Acto knife. Just measure with a ruler the exact size you need and go ahead and use your X-Acto knife. All right, now it's time to laminate your print sheet. So remember, we printed this on sticker paper, and you're going to decide what kind of laminate finish do you want. Do you want glossy, holographic, matte? I am going to choose the holographic design. And the way that I do it is you can do it by hand or you do it with a machine like I explained before. I start it by hand and finish it with the laminating machine. Now remember, it has to be on code. What I do first, I go ahead and align both of my papers, the sticker sheet and the laminating sheet, and then I lay it flat on the table, hold it so nothing moves, making sure that everything is aligned. I'm going to go ahead and peel the top just a tad bit, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the excess of the paper that's connected to the laminating sheet only, okay? When I go ahead and cut a little bit, I'm going to adhere the top of the laminate sheet to my sticker paper by hand, and then I'm going to squeegee it really good, and then I'm going to finish it with the laminating machine. Again, remember, you can do it both ways, by hand or with the machine. Another quick tip that I can give you guys is before putting the laminate sheet over, always make sure that you're wiping that sticker paper, because you might not see the lint, but there could be lint or little pieces of dirt or anything. And then once you laminate it, that is going to be under your laminating sheet. So make sure you keep on wiping and wiping. All right, once you are done laminating, you're going to go ahead and turn your sheet around, and you're going to go ahead and peel that backing. And I'm going to go ahead and use my guide. Make sure that you align the guide to the sides. Remember, if you do not have these guides, go ahead and measure exactly where you need to push your chipboard, okay? So I'm going to put my guide. I'm going to go ahead and peel all that backing. I'm going to put the chipboard right there in the middle. And then I am going to go ahead and I'm showing you right here to use the measuring tape if you don't have those guides, and just mark it a little bit with a pencil or a marker. I don't recommend using a marker because you're going to be able to see the marker through the back. So don't use a marker. Use like a pencil or even like a scoring tool and just score it right there. All right, once you properly adhere your chipboard, you're going to use the miter corners. You decide whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and place it on the side. Use your cutting mat, so you do not cut the table, and then use your X-Acto knife to cut it. Do that again with all the sides, and then I am going to help my paper fold with the table, which you're going to see me do that, and make sure that everything's flush, everything's nice and neat. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold, let's say if you choose the long side, so make sure that you fold both of the long sides first, or both of the short sides first. Make sure you do that. And then once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead, repeat the same steps for the front and the back. And you're also, after here, you're going to adhere the back of the cover of the chipboard. If you don't want to add a design, you can use a regular white piece of sticker paper and just put it in the back. I am also going to laminate the design that goes in the back. That is also optional, but remember, like I said, sticker paper eventually does turn yellow. Okay, this part is optional if you want to add the elastic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my measuring tape or ruler. I'm going to measure 1/2 inch from the side and 1/2 inch from the top. Remember, this is my back cover. This is where your elastic goes. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it with my marker just like that, 1/2 inch in and 1/2 inch down. And I'm going to do the same thing in the bottom. So I know where exactly to place the holes with my crocodile. If you don't know how to use a crocodile, it comes with instructions. It's really easy. Just create the size of the hole that you want, and then you're gonna add your grommet, and then you're gonna make sure that so there's like a little piece on the top that you switch to the whole part, and then where you're gonna put the grommet. So make sure that you switch that little lever on the top, and then that's it. You're gonna press down the grommet to press it down. Before you press down the grommet or insert the grommet, you have to add your elastic. I do not have a specific size for my elastic. Just use whatever size you want or like the length that you want. I just like to make sure that my book closes tightly, so I do not leave it so loose. You're going to go ahead and insert your elastic first. And then you put your grommet and make sure that how you're putting your elastic, it goes the right way. And then use whatever tool you want to put that elastic and then put your grommet, like I said, and then you go ahead and squeeze your grommet with your tool. All right, after you design everything, everything's printed, we need to figure out where we are going to be placing the holes of your cover and pages. Remember, because mine are not the same size. You wouldn't have to do this if yours is the same size, but because mine is two different sizes, I have to personally do this. All right, again, my cover is 9.5 by 7, and then my pages is 9 by 6.75. I want it when it's all punched together that it lines up like this and only 0.25 around. We already said all this at the beginning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold each paper in half. And I am just going to mark it right here just so I could see it better. Just to have, that is so crooked, y'all. That's the half. So this has to be right there when I punch. So it could be right in the half, like that, okay? All right, so the next step I did is I lined up both middles of the cover and the page to make sure they're both in the center, like this. And this is going to take you more than one try, depending on the size you're doing and all that. Everything's trial and error, okay? So everything like I'm showing you guys works for everything. Make sure they're all lined up. And because my pages are smaller, I need to figure out where to position this, that I have enough space on both sides and I'm not going to create a punch that's going to mess up this page, okay? So like if, and then the reason why I have this machine is because remember, when I pull one out, it's not going to punch. Let me bring this more to the front. If I, whatever pin I pull to the front, that's not going to punch, okay? So I personally am going to put it right here. And my first punch is going to go right here. That's going to leave some space on the page. Like I said, it's not going to be all the way to the edge. I feel like I like that. Let me see the marker so y'all can see. Like right here. I like that punch right there. And then also right there. So it leaves space from my page. You see that? Hopefully that's making sense. I like that. Again, you can start from right here. You just figure out where you want to punch, okay? I like it there. So all I did was I put my paper right there. And this, you can move it. Right? Because you can start from right here all the way here. The reason why I personally didn't start from here, because as you can see, like I didn't have enough room. So that was my personal experience. And then I also put a washi tape because I make a lot of this size. So I could just, if I'm doing another size, I know this specific washi tape is for the 9 by 6.75 cover. Okay. So all I had to do is line it up with my washi tape here, as you can see. And then I move this there and then tighten it. Make sure to pull whichever you don't want. Make sure that you put it exactly where you want them. And now holding them both together, you're going to go ahead and push back. And we're going to go ahead and punch. You're going to slide it out. And you're going to see if that's enough space that you like. And then from the cover. Okay. As you can see, I had already tried that side and I personally didn't like it because it was more space on this side than that side. So I just flipped the paper over. And then I like the space there. And I also like the space from the pages. See? So then when I put my pages, it's gonna like, so you just play around with it. Then I put my washi tape right here. If you have the same machine, I mean, I could kind of tell you how many pins I pulled. So I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins from the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pins from the right. And then I have my line at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right where this dash number 5 ends, right at the end. Hopefully that helps you guys if you got the same machine. And then I put a washi tape right at the end of dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right at the end of dash 6. So that is where I want my cover to stop. The cover is going to stop at that washi tape, all right? And because you already did that, Now you're gonna have to move this when you do the pages, because remember the pages is a different size. So if we put this right here, see, if you put this right here, you do have to move this when you're ready to do the pages, but that's for the other tutorial, but hopefully that makes sense. Go ahead and grab your cover and make sure you are punching the correct side. Line it up however, remember, like the guide you used. And with this machine, this is thicker, so make sure that you are going really in there. Okay, all the way to the back. Make sure you're going all the way in there. Push back and use your strength because this is chipboard. You're gonna grab the cover of the back, all right, and then make sure you're turning it around and you're punching. Remember, because it's gonna go like this, so make sure you're punching the correct side. Again, make sure you're going all the way to the back. Like I said, it's not the best machine ever, so you're going to see some left over from your punch. Just go ahead and cut all that out. All right, there goes your front and back cover, all punched and ready for the pages. All right, everybody, we made it all the way to the end of part 1. If you enjoyed this class, go ahead and like this video. Also, comment down below what did you learn in this video and if you're giving it a try. I know this class was very long, but y'all already know I like to teach step by step. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified every time I upload new videos, specifically part 2. You don't want to miss it. All right, everybody, I hope everyone's having a blessed day and I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.